the game I would dub like the disappointment bowl, the rebound bowl from last season. It is Texas A&M going to Miami. Just a ton of intrigue. We saw Connor Weigman, Bobby Petrino. That offense was looking pretty good in week one. They've got Jimbo Fisher holding no play sheets, looking like Jason Garrett over there, just clapping and just worried about not worried about calling plays, worried about what's happening on the field. But in all seriousness, good debut for all the Texas A&M offense. Miami, kind of the same thing. I know it was Miami of Ohio, but I think I saw some things watching that game. I like the way they were using some of the playmakers. The running backs too for Miami looked good as well. So I think we're going to learn a lot about where both of these teams are after easy openers, and also just seeing the jump from disappointing to 2023. I think line of scrimmage here will also be super important because Miami's offensive line seems to be much improved. A&M's defensive front gave up a lot of rushing yards last year, but super talented. And then watch the Miami secondary, especially the corners, against Texas A&M's receivers. Stopping the pass, especially the deep ball, was a problem for Miami at times last year.
Well, the athletes in space on both sides are interesting, honestly, because I think when you look at what Texas A&M can do, to your point, that's a big matchup nightmare. Connor Weigman, they scored on their first 3 drives. You know, like you said, the offense looks better. They scored 5 straight touchdowns to start the game. They got dudes in space now. And what's interesting is I was thinking about Texas A&M when we always talk about 2020, and I know there's an asterisk and a caveat there, but that's like their best season. And one of the things that we always talk about best quarterback play, best offensive line under Jimbo Fisher in that season. There was also a guy calling plays on defense that we don't always mention, who's now beating Clemson regularly in the ACC,
Yeah.
Mike Elko. So what does Texas A&M's defensive coaching staff have for what should be a better quarterback in Tyler Van Dyke? They've got some decent weapons too. There's some nice athletic pieces for Miami out in space as well. So what are they going to do with them? So if it's the defensive coordinating, the quarterback play, and the offensive line, then Texas A&M, if they can do it this weekend and show us what those 3 areas look like against Miami on the road, and I'll be getting to my picks against the spread, but I really believe in this A&M team now. For now.
This is dangerous territory right here.
I think it could be. I think it could. This is a good sort of like collect data. You go down and handle your business. I like them laying the 4.5. We'll get to my picks against the spread in a minute, but this is one of those for Texas A&M. All the matchups kind of favor you, and I still think I don't know how many people believe in Mario Cristobal's ability to out scheme anybody and to out coach anybody. Still, I still think that's a problem. So he's got to prove that in a big way. I think so. I like A&M.
I like A&M as well. And I also think just from a collecting data standpoint, after seeing LSU last week, I'm curious to see where A&M, in a high profile matchup, just to kind of compare the two at this point of the season would be interesting to me.